Gammy, and I'm here to talk to you about being celibate and dating. Mm. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Alright, guys, so one thing that I've seen that is just so tough for a lot of people is the moment, right? You meet that guy, ne? Like, he is so cute, he's so fly, and then you guys start talking, you're hanging out, it's so fun, and then you're like, so yeah, I cannot spend the night. I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, I don't. No, don't touch me. No, don't touch me there. And then he's like, hey, what's wrong with you? Like, what's up with you?
I'm celibate.
Back up. That's what usually happens. Like, dudes just back up and they're like, okay. So what do I do with this? Alright, guys, so this video basically is for anyone who feels that they are kind of just like tired of the whole negative cycle of dating. I realize that dating right now is not only hard, but it is super toxic. Okay, like it's kind of hard to find someone who genuinely love you for you, and it's hard to find someone who will be patient with you, someone who genuinely cares about you. And what that does is it just brings this whole sense of like hopelessness. And also I feel like it makes us compromise in so many areas. And besides compromising, another thing that I notice is, especially as I feel like as chicks or women, girls, what we usually do is we bring down our value, our beliefs in any kind of way, just to compromise so we are accepted and loved in any kind of space and with whatever guy that we're with. And so this video is not specifically for girls per se, though of course you'll be able to relate with me as a woman. But then this is just to help anyone who seeks to, who's interested in walking in that area and who just wants to understand, like, okay, how do I do it? How do I deal with the temptation? How do I deal with dating? Like, what do I do? So I'm not an expert in any of this. This is purely just me coming with all honesty, and just to ensure that you're able to feel hopeful about the situation at the end of this video, and also that you are able to kind of understand the purpose of a few topics that we're going to cover. The first thing I'm going to cover is the misconceptions of being celibate. Number one, the misconception that I've come across is that you have no options. And that's the biggest misconception, is that you don't have options. So in fact, you do have options. There oftentimes is a lot, but like, it's just like it doesn't meet the criteria. Hey, it doesn't meet the criteria. Number two, the misconceptions that I've come across is that you're just doing it for the sake of marriage, and that's not the truth. Anyone can get married, anyone can have a kid, just like anyone can have a drink. So that is also not the ultimate goal. So for me personally, the reason why I chose to be celibate is because I was just over the cycle of being in a broken relationship. I genuinely repented, went to God, and I was like, God, like, yo, Jesus, this is too much for me. I am so tired of getting my heart broken. I am just so tired of always being in this place where I feel empty on the inside. I'm so tired of being with someone, and like, when I get out the relationship, I'm like, who am I? What is this? What are we doing? And I realized that from that happening, that I wasn't the only one who was experiencing the same thing. It's just that a lot of people were kind of scared to be honest and open about it in that sense. And so that's why this video specifically, I hope it can help a lot of people, and they're able to understand the purpose of being celibate. Because again, we're so used to this culture where all we do is, if everyone is having sex, we're gonna do it. If everyone's having a drink, we're gonna do it. Like, everyone's gonna kill themselves, let's do that too. And like, no, you have to have a mind of your own. And the truth is, I went down on the inside. I just had to realize, like, what is it on the inside of me that I truly, truly want? That's something that if you ever choose to walk in this journey, you need to understand, firstly, like, what is it that you want for yourself? for me, I wanted to do things. I wanted to do things God's way, right? And by that I mean, I looked at the fact that God is the creator of all things. Okay, He is amazing. Like, He is beyond anything I've ever experienced. That is like the love that I feel from Jesus Christ is just absolutely amazing. And so, me, I had to look at the fact that, okay, if God is the creator of all things and is so amazing, clearly, like, the world, the standard of relationships according to the world, which is like man-made and filled with flaws and fault, because we as people, as men, we are just, we are imperfect beings. And so if that standard of relationship that I've been following has nothing to do with my creator, then I've been following the wrong thing, and hence why maybe that's why it's so flawed, and I've been experiencing all these trials and all these hardships, because I've been following the wrong thing. And so I went back and I was like, God, I really want you to be the leader of my life. As the Bible says that, basically marriage was ordained, created by God in the beginning with Adam and Eve. And looking at the fact that I was following something that I didn't even understand. I didn't even know. Like, I was just going with the flow with my life. And so, since God is the one who created marriage, maybe, just maybe, if I just try to do things God's way, maybe I'll be able to understand. It's like, if you have a car, right? And, you got yourself a BMW or whatever it is that you drive. You're not going to take that car, if you want to get that car fixed, you're not going to take it to a bakery. You're not going to take it to, like, the vet, the animal hospital or whatever it is. You're going to take it to the manufacturer, the one who actually created it. So that's how I felt for me as well. Like, okay, I need to take this thing to my creator. Okay, I need to figure out who I am. And so now, which now takes me into the benefits of being celibate. So one of the benefits that I realized about being celibate is, aside from being close to God, you get so much clarity on who you are. So being celibate is not just about not having sex, because people act like, yo, it's the end of the world, you're not having sex, Jesus, how do you do it? Like, it's so much bigger than that. It's not just about having sex. It's not just about, like, not having someone to touch you and fill you up and all those things. It's detoxing and clearing out other things that have been taking up space of being celibate. The benefits of being celibate is breaking the cycle of toxic relationships. So again, going back to, like, what I was saying earlier on, me not having clarity and following just what everyone else was doing, this was able to help me have a blueprint, so to speak, have a blueprint on the kind of relationship I would want. So let's say, you're struggling and you're in this relationship and you feel like you're not loved, or you feel like you're not cared for. Like, all these things are the things that God should be doing first, and also that we should be doing ourselves, like choosing to love ourselves. And it helped me to understand the reason why I was in that situationship, because I wasn't loving myself enough, because I had inadequacies, because I felt unworthy or undeserving of certain things, because I was broken, and I've experienced multiple relationships where I was constantly getting my heart broken or being hurt in some way, and I was constantly attracting guys who just had this wall. Guys who were emotionally unavailable, and you're yearning for this thing when this person is just like, present, and this person is there for you, they want to be with you. But for some reason, you just always felt like, I don't really matter to this person. And that's because they also didn't love themselves enough, to have the ability to even love you. And I realized, like, the part and role that I played in allowing myself to be in toxic relationships. So that's one of the benefits of being celibate, is you're able to go back and have a blueprint and be like, okay, look, so what does this look like? What does a healthy relationship look like? What is the kind of relationship that I want? So this is something when you sit down with yourself and you literally need to be honest. It does not matter what your friends want, what is cool on Instagram. It doesn't even matter what looks cool out there. Like, I don't care right now what looks cool out there. Like, what looks cool is is not going to be able to take over my soul and what is going to make me sleep at night and be happy. You get what I'm saying? So it's choosing again something higher, like a bigger purpose. So you understand that even when you go out there and you start dating again, you're not gonna go out and make the same mistakes, because all you'll be doing is just repeating the cycle all over again. And that's the whole point of trying to break free, is that you don't have yourself constantly doing the same thing over and over, and for it having so much power over you. And so yeah, it's go back, guys, and literally just sit down and be like, what do you want? You sit down right now and figure out what is it that you want in a relationship. If you're unhappy right now, what is it that you want? Okay, you want someone that loves you. And I need to also clear this thing again, because of what we always see. Even in our time by ourselves, we are sometimes afraid, or sometimes can't even think as far as it's possible to have someone that loves you in a relationship, or someone who genuinely loves you, someone who is faithful. See, there's some words that I used to hear that used to bother me so much. Like, I would hear people say, oh girl, it's impossible to find someone that will like love you with all their heart. It's either one, you love them more than they love you, or vice versa. If it wasn't that, it was this thing of like, you cannot get married to someone and they stay faithful. It's impossible. So do you understand the level of toxic relationships we've been exposed to, that I had to detox from that as well and be like, no, I don't agree with that. If I am someone who if I love someone and I got married to someone, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be faithful to this person. If I choose to do that, why would it be hard for the other individual? Why would it be impossible for that person to be faithful? There's nothing wrong with you requiring someone to be faithful to you, or expecting someone, to be honest with you in a relationship. Like, relationships don't have to be tied around lies. They don't have to be tied around deception. They don't have to be tied around, where you always, it's like you're never at peace. There's always something that is making you keep your guard up, and like you're gonna fight someone. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be like that. You don't have to succumb to what the world is offering. You get to sit down and you get to choose what is it that you want for yourself. What will make you happy? If you will point the picture perfect relationship for yourself, of course it's not going to be perfect. People come with flaws, but like, what kind of relationship would you like to have? And that's when we begin, that's when God can be able to begin and work, because like God will definitely work with what you have. So you present something to God and be like, okay, yo God, so what does this look like? Like, show me what it looks like. I had to detox and understand, what does it look like when someone has a loving relationship? My prayer was, God, since I've never seen what it looks like to have a loving relationship, I've never seen a guy who genuinely puts his girl in the forefront and is proud to have this girl as his woman. I was always hitting in a relationship, or it's always like, this me and there's another one, or like there's other people, I don't know. But like, it was just, I felt like, for me, I never came across a guy who was honest and open and was like, yo, this is my woman, or this is my girl, and open and honest about who I am in their life. And again, the role that I played, I was okay with that. And not that I was a side chick or anything. Maybe I was, and I didn't know. But like, I didn't value myself enough to be able to say like, whoa, this is wrong. Like, this is not okay. And my prayer was to ask God, like, God, can you expose me to healthy marriages? Because now it's like, some people would say it's hard to ask for, or it's hard to become something you've never seen. So if you wanted to be a billionaire, common thing that everyone uses as an example, you would follow what they do, right? So with relationships, what does it look like, God, to have a genuine loving relationship? Not everything has to be so and so cheated. Okay. No, it doesn't have to be that way. Not everything has to be so and so divorced, they left. That doesn't have to be your portion. That doesn't have to be something you believe. So when you sit down and you write the kind of things you want for yourself, the kind of relationship you would like, okay, I wrote down, I want someone who will be loving. I want someone who will be faithful. I want someone who loves Jesus. I want someone who is kind. I want someone who is who has compassion, who has empathy. You know, it's being clear about the things that you want. And when I was able to detox from that, and God was able to show me that, okay, there are people, and He will answer your prayers in different ways. You know, I've been exposed to people and seen, and even if not physically, but even on Instagram, like there's some people that I follow and I see, and I'm like, these couples are really good. They're really doing things God's way, and they're doing things the right way, and you're like, wow, this is possible, you know. So this is what it looks like when a man really loves you. Wow, this is what it looks like, you know. And you do sense the honesty in most of them, and some of them is people I've physically been with and I've been around, and I'm being exposed to good marriages, and I'm being exposed to great friendships. Third and final topic about the benefits of being celibate is identity. All right, I know it sounds like doesn't really have much to do with anything, but truth is, guys, every single time we have sex with someone, we are leaving pieces of us with that person, and you end up being in a situation where you legit don't know who you are. Okay, you don't know who you are, you don't know what you want, you don't know what you love, you don't know what you do. Like, you're just a mess. Okay, we're just a mess, and that's the place that I found myself in. I realized that, yeah, I had ambitions, I had desires, but truth be told, like, they were based off of the wrong thing anyway. And I wasn't really sure about who I was. Every single time, like, I was done having sex, like, I don't know if you've had this feeling, but I always had this feeling where I felt like something was missing. I was like, no, man, something feels off, like, something's missing. And at that time, I thought, oh, we're just not connecting. Oh, maybe it's because we don't have things in common. You know, maybe that's what it is. We don't have things in common. Not realizing, completely like oblivious and ignorant to the fact that when we have sex, 3 things are happening at once. It is a physical experience, a spiritual one, and an emotional one. And so every single time I was having sex with someone, I was leaving a piece of me, a part of me, and I walk out of that and I'm like, ooh, that was great, but I'm like, something is missing. And even though the people that I've been with, or the guys that I dated, not a single one of them did I feel like I could spend the rest of my life with them. There's not a single one I felt completely safe with. How crazy is that, guys? Like, how crazy is it, right, that you're able to give your entire body to someone? You're able to allow someone into your body, which is something that is sacred, something that is so valuable, right? But because you don't see yourself as valuable in that moment, you're like, it's whatever. Something so valuable. How crazy is it that we're able to open up ourselves to someone physically, but we still feel insecure, we still feel like we're not safe enough to open up our soul, to open up our spirits to someone. And that's what I realized. Like, every time, even if I was dating this person, I never felt like I was entirely safe with them, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't feel safe with the person. I didn't feel like my heart was safe with them. I didn't feel like I could trust them to that extent, because again, like, I was just operating from the wrong lens, and I was just doing things the wrong way. So the benefits of celibacy is that you're able to get your identity back. You're able to realize, like, where did I lose it? You know, like, where did it all go wrong? Where did I lose my head? Like, where did I lose it? And again, I say I because oftentimes it's not the person. We also play a role considering what we allow to happen in a relationship. You know, a lot of people get mad about situationships. I do not get mad at that because I've been in one. People get mad when they get ghosted. The reason why I don't get mad, I won't say, like, I was hurt about the situationship, but I stopped being hurt and I stopped being mad because I cried out to God. I was like, yo, Lord Jesus, why am I in this situation right now? Like, why is it that I was with this person? I really thought we were vibing. Like, I thought it was cool, you know. And we hadn't had sex or anything, but it's like, we were vibing, it was so nice, it was so cool. But I felt like I was being strung along, you know, and he's also messing with other people. And it made me feel unvaluable. It made me feel like, okay, so I'm not good enough to be chosen by you. Like, you can choose other people, but you're able to just like, whoop-de-doo, overlook me and skip over me and jump to other people. And I realized that the part and role that I played as well was not speaking up about those things and be like, okay, so, because again, we're scared to talk about these things as well. We're scared as women to say in a relationship, like, so, because we're afraid, I was afraid I was going to lose the guy. I was afraid I was going to lose him, and I realized that if I fear losing this person is not for me to begin with. If I fear being honest about how I truly feel, honest about what I truly desire, this person is not for me at all. Why can I not be open enough and honest? Why am I afraid to be open? Why am I still scared and don't feel safe enough? Because safety and security is not just about like being physically protected, like your heart and soul being protected by this person. Do you feel that you can be vulnerable with this individual? And again, we're able to open up our bodies, but then we can't even, the true thing that like hurts is we get so wounded in our soul. And that's what like makes us close up, and then we're just, doing routine, we're having sex and whatever, but then we're not feeling fulfilled in any way. And that's how I felt in a relationship. Was not feeling fulfilled. I wasn't feeling like this is something that was for me. And so I went back, was able to get my identity and figure out like, what happened. I allowed that person to call me out of my name, or I allowed things that happened in the past in my family where I was rejected and I was told that I wasn't good enough, or I was told that I'll never amount to anything, that the only thing that I'm good as is I'm as good as being a housewife, like I don't have brains. Legit, this is honest things, guys, that my family is like straight up said to me. Relatives and stuff that have just said, aunts and uncles, like, yeah, the only thing you'll ever amount to be is just like a housewife. That's all you should ever be. And there's nothing wrong with being a housewife if that's what you desire, and I'm not saying there's anything bad with it, but it's like the words that were spoken and experiences that you've had, and you look back at that, and you look at where you lost it. And then where you lost it is again a place you try to find it. So you lost it maybe where you had a relationship with your dad and it was not so good, and then you try to find it in a man, and then you don't realize that you're digging yourself in even a deeper hole where you're getting lost even further. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I was doing. Like, I lost it there where I had a father who was emotionally unavailable. Then I get there and I try to find it in a man who turns out to be also just like my dad, who's emotionally unavailable. So you get what I'm saying? It's this perpetual cycle that we keep recreating. And when we don't take the time to sit back and like detox from these things, like again, like not having sex is not the end of the world. When you came to this earth, the first thing you were given was milk. You were breastfed. It was not sex. It was not even solid food. The first thing you got was boob. Okay, you were breastfed. So like the thing that we act like sex is the end of the world when you don't have it, like you can't live without it, is straight up nonsense. It's not true. You can live for a while. Like you can live without it if you choose to, but I feel like you can abstain, you can chill. Like it's not that deep. It's just sometimes we want to stay in our struggle more. We want to stay in our struggle more than we want to be free. And then we still complain about being broken and struggling. It's like how some people, they'll complain about being broke, but they're not doing anything to ensure that they get their finances in order or educate themselves up by financial literacy. And then it's like, you wonder why you're still broke. Same thing. So sometimes you just have to be very honest with ourselves and look at the part that we played, the role that we played in a relationship that got us to the point that where we at, so we can identify where we lost it and go and not try find it in the wrong thing, but go back and find it in God or your higher power, whoever you choose to call, refer to as your higher power. So that's one thing that I did, and it definitely boosted my confidence, like 110%, no lies. I still have issues that I struggle with, I'll be honest about that. Like, yeah, I still have thoughts where sometimes, the enemy tries to make me feel like I'm doing something wrong by being celibate, because there was a point where every single friend that I had, all of them were just having sex, and I was the only one out of them who was like, yo guys, this doesn't work for me. They're like, what? Are you crazy? Why? Whatever. Okay, girl, do you? And sometimes you'll feel that way. I've had guys who approach me, and the only thing they look at is like your physicalities. The only thing they barely hear that you have a mind and soul, and that you're priceless, like you're precious, and there's something more. That's how I see myself. I see myself as precious. I see myself as like, gold in the eyes of God. So like God is he's amazing. He's really, really, really taught me how to love myself all over again. And again, it's because like my identity was secured in the wrong thing. Like I was securing my identity in sex and dating and all these other things. I spent more time doing that. I spent most of my teens and my early 20s doing that. And then you fast forward down the line, you don't even know what you want in your career and all these other things. And you just can't figure out who you are. And so it's going back to the creator. For me, I had to personally go back to the Bible, or even if I had to Google up, what does God say about me? And I wrote down those things and I read them because I needed to unlearn all the things that people have said about me. People saying that you're useless. People saying that you amount to nothing. People saying that you are worthless. People saying that you have no value. People, even sometimes it's not even how they say it or what they say, but it's how they treat you that leaves you with that feeling. And so it's going back and looking at, what does God say about me? Okay, cut out all the other people. What does God say about me? That is my truth. That is what I stand on. That is what I walk on. And that way, even if a person decides to call you out of your name and say, man, you'll never amount to anything, whatever, bro, you're just useless. And then you can literally be saying, no. According to my dad, this is who I am. Okay, so just the certain things, and even if you don't physically say, like verbally say it, but the certain stuff that I will come back and be like, I don't like how what that person said, and what they said is probably stupid, but then I'm just like, it doesn't sit with me. I don't let it marinate and sit in my soul. So it's these things that we, again, I'm still daily working on. We detox off these things, but this is one of the biggest benefits is also identifying who you are, regaining your confidence, and just loving yourself all over again. And once you love yourself properly, you'll be able to attract the right person. Not only that, but you'll be able to spot out with an instant who is not for you. Because actually that reminds me, benefit number 4 is clarity. You end up having clarity. I was able to identify who was not for me and who was. So even if a person came and they're like, how people can come and tell you what they want to hear, like, I love Jesus too, babe, right? I'm all about that life, like, love you, man, I'm all about that. Jesus is the king. Okay, I hear you, but does your heart say that? Because the Bible says we will judge them according to their fruits, and the fruit is the character of a person. So a person can say things. I can easily sell you anything and say anything, but their character, their heart, does their heart really belong to Christ? And that's what I was able to determine. You're able to determine and see the character of a person from what they do, not just what they say and how they live. If whether or not for real, they really do love Christ. And also, like, is this person trying to pull you to become better? If you're in a situation where you're choosing to be celibate, and then you finally meet someone, someone you decide to start dating, and then this person is just like, yeah, man, we should spend the night, it's chill. I mean, it's not that bad, right? It's not that bad. And you're trying to do things differently so you can better yourself and you can get a better outcome. And that person is drawing you back into where you used to be versus supporting you and pushing you forward to where you need to be. And that's how you're able to determine if this is the person who's for you or not. Because a lot of things gratify or satisfy us in the moment, but ultimately are detrimental to where we're going or what we're trying to achieve or do. So it's being able to choose and be able to have clarity to see, like, are you really someone who's for me? Are you really trying to help me? And I was able to see that not just with guys and dating, but also with friendships. If I'm not trying to have sex, I'm not gonna be sitting there talking about like people's privates all the time. Like, no, I'm not gonna sit there and try to talk about that. Like, there's bigger things we need to discuss besides boys in their pants. Can we just talk about how you're gonna build yourself? Can we talk about the struggles that we have and how we're able to get through that and navigate through that? Can we talk about succeeding as individuals? Things that are bigger and brighter beyond what's happening below someone's waist. So yeah, guys, I really hope that this was extremely helpful. There'll definitely be more videos coming forward with this. A couple of suggestions I can have if you're trying to get more clarity on what I was talking about. You can definitely check out Pastor Michael Todd's relationship goals video. That's another thing that helped me. There's topics where he speaks about relationships, he speaks about sex as well. You can also get clarity on what does it mean when you're having sex with someone, you know, what we're actually doing when we're having sex, and soul ties, all of that good stuff, and you'll be able to educate yourself more. So yeah, until I see you guys next time, love y'all.